So in this video, I'm going to explain the different types of investment. So for our learning objectives are to identify the types of investment and to explain the advantage and disadvantage of each types of investment. So magsimula muna tayo sa type of investors. So we have three types of investors: the conservative investor, the moderately conservative investor, and the aggressive investor. So when we say conservative investor, it is a someone who wants to grow his money but doesn't want to take the risk. This investor choose financial product that doesn't fluctuate much in value. So ito yung mga klase ng investors na takot sa risk o ayaw malugi or mawala ang pera dahil sa pag-invest. Second, moderately conservative investor is a someone who values principal preservation, but he or she is comfortable in accepting a small degree of risk to seek some degree of appreciation. So when we say principal preservation, gusto nito yung nami-maintain yung value ng pera niya, hindi nababawasan or hindi nalulugi, pero willing siyang mag-take ng risk. So gusto niya magkaroon ng appreciation. When we say appreciation, gusto niya na medyo kumikita yung pera niya. Kaya ito yung mga investors na gusto mag-invest pero takot sa risk, pero willing sila na or madagdagan yung pera nila. So usually, ang tawag sa kanila ay moderately conservative investors. So these investors desires greater liquidity and is willing to accept lower return and is willing to accept minimal losses. So sa madaling salita, ito yung mga takot pa din sa risk or takot na mawala yung pera nila pero willing pa rin sila mag-invest. So third, aggressive investor is a someone who always taking the risk or mas kilala sa tawag na risk taker. This investor gets higher return for taking big risk but must actively monitor the stocks they invest in. So ito yung mga investors na willing mag-take ng risk kahit malugi o mawala ang investment nila basta makapag-invest. Dahil alam nila na malaki ang kikitahin nila sa pag-invest na gagawin nila. Kadalasan nag-invest ang mga aggressive investors sa mga stocks or shares sa stock market. So ito yung mga risk taker. So meron nga tayong tinatawag na the higher the risk, the higher the return. So kapag mataas ang risk, mas mataas ang return ng pera mo, pero mas mataas din ang chance na malugi ka or mawala yung pera mo. So that's the three types of investors. So let's proceed to the main topic, which is the type of investments. So we have different types of investments. So meron tayong bonds, stocks, currency, gold, real estate, deposit, and funds. But may mga ilan lang akong i-explain, may mga importante lang. So magsimula tayo sa bank deposits. So when we say bank deposit, it's a money placed into the banking institution for safekeeping, such as savings account, checking account, and money. So usually dito nagsisimula lahat ng types of investment sa pag-iipon. So bakit nga ba nag-iipon ng mga tao? Usually dahil meron silang pinag-iipunan. For example, meron silang gustong makamit na pangarap, like gusto nilang bumili ng house and lot, gusto nilang magkaroon ng sasakyan, gusto nilang mag-travel around the world, or gusto nilang magkaroon ng financial freedom. So nagsisimula lahat ng investment sa pag-iipon. So para makapag-ipon, kailangan gamitin ang formula of savings. So kapag meron ka ng income, someday kapag nagtatrabaho ka na, pwede mong gamitin ito. Income is equals to savings minus expenses. Unahin mong ibawas ang savings bago ang expenses. Usually ito yung ginagamit ng mga matipid or gusto talagang magkaroon ng ipon. So don't use the income state or income formula of the poor mindset, which is income is equals to expenses minus savings. So inuuna muna inilang ibawas ang mga expenses, tapos kung ano yung titira saka na yun yung magiging savings nila, pero which is dapat kailangan baguhin. So para magkaroon ka ng ipon, mas maganda na gamitin mo or unahin mong ibawas ang savings, at yung expenses ay kailangan mong i-adjust. Mag-a-adjust na yun kapag inuna mo ang savings. Dahil kapag meron kang gustong pang-ipunan, kailangan mong gawin dyan, unahin mo munang ibawas ang savings bago ang expenses para makapag-ipon ka ng mas malaki at makamit mo yung goal mo sa buhay. So second, bonds. So when we say bonds, one of the best example of bonds is government bonds. Government bonds are effective financial instrument used by the government to borrow money from the public. So it is a safest type of investment because it carry almost no default or credit risk since interest payment and repayment of principal are guaranteed by the government. This investment is guaranteed but low return and low risk. So this type of investment is low risk and low return dahil ang investment mo dito ay parang ipapahiram mo yung pera mo sa government. At sa government, hihiramin niya yung pera mo at babayaran ka niya soon with maturity value kasama na nung interest. So sa madaling salita, ang bonds ay investment na ang pera mo pinapautang mo sa government, which is the government hihiramin niya yung pera mo para magkaroon sila ng funds or karagdagang funds para sa mga projects nila. Like for example, kapag sa DPWH or Department of Public Works and Highway, kapag nakulangan sila ng pera para sa pagpapaayos ng mga bridge or roads, pwede sila mag-issue ng government bonds sa public para yung mga investors mag-invest sa kanila or ipapahiram nila yung pera nila, and then at the end yung pera ng mga investors ay babalik sa kanila with interest rate or interest payment. So again, kikita this type of investment, kikita yung pera mo using the interest payment. At the same time, low guaranteed ito kasi government yung magbabayad. So alam naman natin na ang gobyerno ay hindi niya tinatakbuhan yung mga utang niya, kaya niyang bayaran lahat. So low return siya, and then at the same time low risk kasi guaranteed. It means maliit lang yung kikitain mo para ka nagpatago ng pera, pero at least safe yung pera mo. Ganun sa bonds. Third, stocks. Stocks is a type of security that signifies ownership in corporation and represent a claim on part of the corporation's assets and earnings. These types of investment is not guaranteed because it is high risk, meaning there is a chance that your investment will become zero or loss. Stocks is the riskiest investment and expensive because of taxes and other costs you'll pay in buying and selling of stocks and shares. So when we say stocks, this is the one of the most or riskiest investments dahil ang stocks or shares ay laging nagfa-fluctuate or nagbabago ang market value or value nito. Ang stocks ay malaki ang chance na malaki ang kikitahin mo at malaki din ang chance na pwedeng mawala yung pera mo or malugi ka. So every day the market value ng stocks ay laging nagbabago. So medyo complicated ito kapag hindi mo alam yung basic nito, pero when we say stocks, ito yung mga riskiest investment. So ito yung medyo alanganin. So kailangan mo muna pag-aralan tong investment na ito, itong stocks or shares, bago ka mag-invest sa stock market. So mutual funds. When we say mutual funds, it's a type of financial vehicles made up of pool of money collected from the many investors to invest in securities like stocks, bonds, money instruments, and other investments or assets. So sa madaling salita, ang mutual funds ay investment ng maraming investors. Pinagsasama-sama yan ng isang fund or professional fund manager. Si professional fund manager, siya mismo yung magpa-process or magmamanage ng pera ng mga investors sa kanya gagawan ng allocation of assets. So sa madaling salita, yung pera ng mga investors, ibibili niya ng mga stocks sa mga blue chip companies. So when you say blue chip companies, ito yung mga kahit may mga pandemic, kahit nagkaroon pa ng gera or sakuna, yan, marami pang iba na pwedeng mangyari sa mundo, stay strong pa rin sila. Katulad ng panahon ngayon na pandemic, ang Globe, PLDT, Jollibee, SM, BPI, itong mga to hindi sila affected ng pandemic. Continue pa din yung operation ng business nila kahit may mga nangyaring hindi maganda sa mga environment. So katulad ng Globe Telecom Corporation. So in this time, mas mataas ang market value nito dahil maraming users ng Globe, at in this time of pandemic, online class, so mas malaki yung kinikita ng Globe dahil gumagamit sila ng internet, wifi, o lagi nagpapaload yung mga tao. So another example, kapag si professional fund manager ay invest niya rin sa Jollibee Corporation. So si Jollibee, so alam naman natin na kahit anong mangyari or may mga pandemic yan, si Jollibee ay continue pa din yung operation niya, na marami open pa rin sila kumbaga. So marami pang iba katulad ng mga bangko na BPI, BDO Metro Bank, pati yung mga big companies like Ayala. So lahat ng ito pwedeng gamitin or pwedeng dyan mag-invest si professional fund manager para mabawasan ang risk. So ang dahilan kung bakit mayroong fund manager at mayroong gagawin siyang activities like allocation of assets dahil para mabawasan yung risk, mabawasan yung pagkalugi ng investors ng mga investment. So usually sa fund or sa mutual fund, ito yung mga mayroong ding management fee. So kailangan mong bayaran yung fund manager dahil sa pagpaprocess or pagmamanage ng investment mo. So that's the mutual funds. Next is the insurance. So insurance is a contract represented by a policy in which an individual or entity receive financial protection or reimbursement against losses from an insurance company. The company pulls client risk to make payment more affordable for the instead. So when we say insurance, hindi lang siya for life insurance, pwede rin siyang maging for health insurance, so property insurance, vehicle insurance like yung mga sasakyan, injury or accident insurance, travel insurance, and home insurance. So maraming types ng insurance. So sa madaling salita, ang insurance ay hindi ibig sabihin na para sa patay. So maling mindset yun. So maituturing na investment ang insurance dahil ito ang nagbibigay ng protection kapag may nangyaring masama or hindi maganda like accident, emergency, may nagkasakit or may trahedyang nangyari. So ang insurance, binabayaran mo yan at the same time kapag may nangyari masama. Kapag for example ngayon nagbabayad ka ng insurance mo, every year nagbabayad ka ng 1,000, pero yung kontrata mo every year kailangan mong bayad ng 1,000, pero kapag may nangyaring masama bibigyan ka nila ng 1 million. Ganun yung insurance. So nagbayad ka for your protection, especially ngayong pandemic. So kailangan ng mga tao na magkaroon ng insurance kasi hindi natin masasabi kung may pwedeng mangyari sa atin kapag lumabas tayo ng bahay, like may accident or pwedeng makapitan ng sakit. Yan. So malaki ang naitutulong ng insurance, or insurance is the best investment din kasi imbes na maging burden ka sa family mo kapag hindi ka na nagkakaroon ng income dahil hindi ka makapasok dahil may sakit ka, possible na si insurance company ang magbabayad or magbibigay ng pera sa inyo. That's the insurance. It's not all about the death, but mas marami pang ibig sabihin ng insurance. So again, last is real estate insurance or real estate investment. When we say real estate investment, it refers to the land as well as any physical properties or improvements affixed to the land, including house and buildings. Types of investment in making money through rental, selling properties and improvement properties, and so on and so forth. So real estate insurance is not liquid because some properties are difficult to sell. So when we say real estate investment, ay isang investment na kailangan ng malaking kapital or puhunan dahil ang mga real estate tulad ng properties, house and lot at buildings ay medyo mahal or malaki ang kailangan na capital dahil maraming proseso tulad ng pagpapaayos or improvement of properties or renovation or pagpapatayo mismo ng buildings. Malaki ang gagastusin dyan. So usually kumikita ang mga investors dito sa pagbebenta or pagpaparenta ng bahay or apartment. So ito ang investment na hindi liquid. Bakit? Kasi matagal ang proseso. Marami pang pagdadaan ng mga papeles at taxes bago tuluyang maibenta sa mga investors or sa mga bumibili ng mga properties. So, sa madaling salita, ang investment na ito ay maganda dahil marami kang pwedeng pagkakitaan tulad ng pagpaparenta ng bahay. So, imbes na or pwede rin na ikaw mismo yung tumira sa bahay na yun. Kaya mas maganda rin na meron kang naipupundar na bahay as a investment. So in conclusion of the different types of investment, so for number 1, bank deposits. Ang advantage niyan is guaranteed. Guaranteed na babalik ang pera mo, at the same time kumikita din. Pero ang disadvantage niyan, low return or maliit lang yung kikitain mo. Ganoon din sa bonds, guaranteed siya na babalik yung pera mo, at the same time kikita using the interest na ibabayad ng mga government, and at the same time low risk din siya dahil or low return dahil maliit yung kikitain mo. Number 3, stocks, fluctuation of value and high return. Advantage yan dahil naging advantage ang fluctuation of value dahil ang stocks or shares ay laging nagbabago ang price. So advantage niya kapag tumaas ang value. So ang disadvantage naman ng stocks ay high risk and no guaranteed return. So ibig sabihin ng high risk, ibig sabihin malaki ang chance na pwedeng mawala yung pera mo or pwedeng malugi ka. Hindi rin siya guaranteed na babalik yung investment mo. So in number 4, mutual funds, ang advantage niyan ay merong professional fund manager na magmamanage ng investment, pero ang disadvantage nun, meron kang babayarang management fee or kailangan mong bayaran yung fund manager. So number 5, insurance. So advantage niyan ay give the insured individual or entity the cash capital to deal with unforeseen adverse financial consequence. So advantage niyan kapag may nangyaring masama, like may nangyaring bagyo, tapos nasira yung bahay mo, tapos naka-insured yung bahay mo, at nasira yung bahay mo. Ngayon si insurance company, siya yung magpapaayos mismo ng bahay. That's the beauty of insurance. So ang disadvantage naman nun, some insurance companies can go bankrupt if companies fail to factor significantly unforeseen circumstances. So disadvantage niyan kapag kapag nag-invest ka sa isang insurance companies tapos biglang nalugi. So ang tendency nun, kapag nalugi yung company, baka hindi niya na maibigay ng buo yung kontrata, medyo maging 50-50 na lang kapag may nangyaring masama. So for example, kapag sa isang company medyo nababangkrut na sila or bankrupt na talaga sila, tapos meron kang insurance sa kanila, meron kang policy, so minsan hindi na nila matagal ang proseso dahil hindi nila na kayang ibigay or uutang pa sila sa ibang businesses or kailangan pa nilang ibenta yung company nila para makabayad sila ng mga utang nila. So number 6, real estate. So generally appreciate over time. So ang advantage ng pag-invest sa real estate, dahil kapag invest ka sa real estate, ang value ng mga properties katulad ng house and lot ay lumalaki. So yun yung magandang investment kapag meron kang real estate properties. So for example, kung noon ang mga bahay at lupa ay bibili mo lang ng nasa 50,000, pero after 10 years, like for example ngayong taon 2020, ang mga value ng mga properties ay umabot na sa mga million or 100,000. So that's the beauty of real estate investment din. Pero ang disadvantage niyan ay huge capital needed and maintenance of property needed to preserve its value, and illiquid or not liquid or difficult to sell. So ang disadvantage niyan ay kailangan malaki ang pera mo, malaki yung puhunan mo, may malaki kang capital, at kailangan mo ma-preserve yung value, hindi mo pwedeng masira para mabenta mo kaagad. And then illiquid siya kasi medyo matagal ang pagbebenta ng properties, hindi ganun kabilis. So hindi siya liquid, kumbaga hindi siya madaling i-convert into cash. So that's the conclusion of the different types of investments. So that's for all, and I hope you understand the lessons, and thank you for watching.